Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Bill Maher, little Billy boy. I'm pretty sure he's Ivy League educated, he's well-spoken, he's obviously intelligent, but just because you're educated and just because you have a high IQ doesn't mean that you're immune from being a complete idiot. And it certainly doesn't make you immune from being a complete partisan hack, a dishonest loser. And unfortunately for Bill Maher, unfortunately for all his fans out there, that's exactly who and what Bill Maher is. This guy is so blinded by partisan, he's so blinded by personal animus that he has against the former president, Donald Trump. He's so emotional and hate-fueled that he ends up overlooking something really important, especially within the world that he works in, world of politics, culture, and commentary. He's overlooked something very important, and that's keeping an honest track record. Don't just spew vengeful hate. Don't just buy into the popular narrative of the time because it makes you feel good and it attacks somebody that you don't like. Well, once again, Bill Maher's dishonest past comes back to haunt him. His blind hatred and rage for Donald Trump continues to discredit him. And frankly, in my opinion, discredit him totally. It's not like he gets a pass just because he doesn't like Donald Trump. If he's willing to have his personal vendettas skew his perspective to such a degree, then obviously his credibility is shot. He cannot be trusted. We got a flashback clip which proves just how much of a dishonest actor this guy is. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so let's first start off with Bill Maher once again pretending to be the Democrat of reason. It's always the same thing with this guy. I say it every video lately. He's always so late to the party when it comes to condemning his own side. He only condemns it when it becomes so extreme that you can no longer ignore it.
Now can I talk about American propaganda? Because there was a rally in Dearborn, Michigan. It's a large Muslim population. Chant of death to America. I feel like we've passed something here. The left has gotten mad at me for many years for talking about Islam. I try not to do it too much because I know it makes them go crazy, and I've made my point. But it needs to be talked about now. When you start chanting death to America in America, I got it, Charlottesville was real bad when they were chanting death to the Jews will not replace us. But on American soil, here's the Tarek Bazi is the organizer of this. This was at the end of Ramadan, International Day of Quds, Al-Quds, which was pronounced originally by, he said, this is why Imam Khomeini, that's the Ayatollah Khomeini. Remember him, yep. The Ayatollah Khomeini? He's the good guy now. Khomeini, he would say to pour all your chants and all of your shouts upon the head of America. Yeah, I heard this before. Not coming from America, but the great chastisement. We will chastise the infidels. But now it's coming from inside America. Sorry, got to talk about this again. He said, we live in one of the rottenest countries that ever existed on earth. It's not just genocide, Joe, that has to go. It's the entire system that has to go. No, it doesn't. I like our system. This is America, for crying out loud.
Well, what about...
And there are people who see me say this, oh, he's a conservative now. I'm a conservative. I have not changed. I always liked America and thought death to it was bad.
We've passed the Rubicon with chants of death to America, okay? I'm Bill Maher, okay? I'm the rational Democrat who sees through all the nonsense. No, you aren't, Bill. You're the lunatic Democrat left-wing hysteric who was saying this kind of crap 7 years ago. Take a look.
With Betsy DeVos and Rick Perry.
She wouldn't have a Muslim ban.
They wouldn't have a Muslim ban. They wouldn't be feuding with everybody in the world. They wouldn't be doing this in Russia. Are you crazy?
Calm down, Bill. There is no Muslim ban. If there was, 80... sorry, why don't we...
Don't you find that funny? Because I certainly do. He was condemning Donald Trump as an evil, deplorable racist when Donald Trump issued a travel ban blocking people from certain countries who had terrorist-linked governments. Governments that chanted death to America in their parliaments. No, back then Donald Trump was just a terrible, evil racist promoting a blanket Muslim ban, okay? How completely idiotic. Now, of course, the same kind of ideology that people were arguing we should block from entering the country now now it's entered the country, and frankly, it's slowly taken control of the Democrat Party, and now Bill Maher's concerned about it. What an absolute monumental hypocrite. Back then, Piers Morgan was the crazy person. They were all the rational, same big brain Democrats and left-wingers who were stopping Donald Trump and his fascist Nazi takeover of the nation. How utterly ridiculous. This is what left-wing dishonesty, partisanship, and of course naivete gets you. You know, this guy's concerned about radicalism entering the nation, even though over the last 3 years he's said nothing. He's had no harsh condemnation of Joe Biden's open border policies. You know, the same policies that are essentially allowing known terrorists to simply waltz on into the country. Let's not forget this clip.
By the way, if you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am. Very easy.
Wow, very easy. The entitlement.
No, believe me, I'm much better than that.
The entitlement, guys. Wow.
You will see soon.
We've seen a record amount of literal suspected terrorists and connected terrorists apprehended at the border, and those are just the ones that are apprehended. We don't know about the gotaways, or the ones that aren't known to be linked to these groups. We have been pleading with these bleeding heart liberals to please get their heads out of the sand and start acknowledging the reality, the real risks here. But Bill Maher said nothing about it. But now he wants to seem all woke, talking about how we've passed the Rubicon with chance of death to America. No, this is obviously where it was headed. There's left-wing connected activists on the streets in New York City openly waving Hezbollah flags. We have been documenting this sort of slow march towards extremism of the left, and Bill Maher has pretended to be blind to all of it. He'll talk about woke college students when it comes to benign topics, but when it comes to the serious stuff, the stuff that has actual detrimental impacts to his preferred political party's ambitions, he never talks about it. He'll only mention it when it's too little too late. He'll go on and on and on for years and years, virtue signaling with all of the typical left-wing platitudes. Actually, here's another great flashback moment from 6 months ago, where he was on the Trigonometry podcast saying this.
I mean, I remember being in England first time in the 80s, and it was very different.
Yeah.
Very different.
How so?
Well, first of all, London was like all white.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was.
So can we just celebrate that victory, that we made a place more diverse and not, you never get a pat on the back.
No.
The people who achieve, I feel like, in that area. There's only there's more to do. Of course there's more to do. But can we just get a little, hey, I think I read in Andrew Sullivan's column, London went from 36% to 86% people of color, or something like that. No, maybe that's too high, but something
majority
like a
minority.
50-point swing, 50 points in 2 generations, 3 generations. Okay, that's progress. I'm not a bad person to clap for progress.
The typical talking point of diversity is our strength, completely clueless to the fact that that kind of rhetoric makes him look like a complete hypocrite, at least when the chickens come home to roost. This notion that uncontrolled, unfettered immigration is a good idea. In fact, it strengthens the country. And anybody who questions it, well, you're just a racist, okay? Especially Donald Trump and his, quote, Muslim ban. It's completely ridiculous. Nobody's saying that there shouldn't be any immigrants. The entire point has always been to be very specific in the process of who is chosen to come into the country. That's what Donald Trump clearly meant with his comments relating to Haiti. But of course, he was lambasted as a horrible racist. Conan O'Brien and the rest of these media hacks, of course, engaged in a massive media campaign to portray him as such, just like they did with the, quote, Muslim ban. But in the end, these people always end up looking like hypocrites with egg on their face. And once again, we're completely vindicated. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.